Why, hello there. Hi there. I'm Chef JT. This is Cutting Glass. So, actually, I need to go and grab my chair. Don't follow me. Okay. Because my first project, or first part of this project, sitting here, is going to be dealing with this. I need to start in on this. This is my first project we're going to do here on stream. And first part of this is cutting one up. That's not what I wanted to do, and I also want to check things here. It looks like we are alive across the board here. That is good. Wish I had a better setup for watching chat right now, which I don't, unfortunately. So I'm having to click through and check all the different chats to make sure I'm not missing anything. This setup was supposed to have multi-chat set up with it, but well, if the late start isn't an indicator, things did not go perfectly smoothly yet again for today's stream. But I'm here nonetheless. Better each time. That's the hope, at least. I mean, sometimes we take one step back to go two forward, but so the biggest problems with this design are these two corners here and this one. In this case, and in this case the yellow on this one, and in this case the red one for this. And for all three of these, I'm going to have to drill a hole in the corner of the glass there and hope to break out the glass like that after going in as far as I can with the yellow before we go into the red in the corners there. And same thing for this, I'm going to have to drill the corner and then cut, score it in these two directions, maybe 1, 2, 3 in the center of that. Just try and chip it all out. Hopefully you're not getting too much of the fan here. Let me look on the meter here. Oh, we can get rid of some of that noise. Filters. I don't have the filters on this channel. I guess I can do a standard noise filter. Let's see here. Noise suppression. Okay. That's hopefully better. Yeah, it's pretty much gotten rid of that fan. That's cool. Unsure if that has just gotten better noise filtration over the years, or what, because I'm used to using another plugin to get even better noise suppression from the background noise, but it requires basically being quiet, getting rid of everything that it doesn't want, I don't want. But I don't have that installed on this setup because Linux. Cheers. Ooh, that comes across pretty nicely on the camera. Like, it just looks sort of brown on the screen sometimes. And while it is sort of brown to the general eye, there is all sorts of color in that cup. Interesting. Kick was broadcasting okay earlier. Why did that stop? Interesting. Very, very interesting. Also, Twitch looks like it's broke. Let me check Twitch's. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's not completely broke. Okay. This is about as small a piece of stained glass you want to get right here because you're basically risking covering half of this thing in foil and solder before you actually see any of that yellow through it. We got a 5K bit rate, or just about a 6K bit rate to Twitch. I don't know why it completely changed that setting. And what do we got going here? Why does it do this? Why does Twitch have this horrible layout for their page? Okay, to the backup. And then you don't give me access to the backup URL without. Okay, well we'll just keep going like this, and you can live with it. Seriously, these streaming services, both YouTube, Twitch, I haven't done enough with Kick to be annoyed with them lately. Uh, you need to improve your connection setups with people. Like this whole me having to figure out 50 settings what you want versus what I want, and my screen not showing up, and my stream not connecting, and I don't even know what you want. It's sort of like talking to a family member. I have to guess. They just predict I know them well enough that I'm going to know or something. It's I miss. How long have I been streaming here? 20 minutes. Let's leave it alone. Cancel. Cancel. Let's leave it alone. Now that we got that all chopped up, we get into the fun stuff. Like moving my cutting board. Keyboard, not cutting board. Okay. So I've got 2 pieces of glass already. I've got a couple of other pieces that can work with this too, but these are the main 2 pieces of glass I'm thinking of using for this project. Which looks a little bit better over the yellow to give you, or over the white to give you an idea of the yellow on that. There is most certainly yellow color to that. And the red. And so I am going to start with the yellow because I think that's the most complex piece to cut here first. Why you no record? Why you go to sleep over here, computer? You're not supposed to be asleep. You stay right there, camera. Lovely. Was not recording. All right, we're gonna use just some glue stick. Oh, what's left of our glue stick after using it for several projects. Ooh, this is definitely the end of the glue stick here. But I am going to let's back up top here out of the way. Move this back here. And since I think I'm worried about this being the hardest cut here for me to get through here, I am going to start with this. corner here first. Then I am going to go and try and take out as much as this as I can here. Next up, we need to figure out the Dremel situation here. Are you sealed shut? That's a bummer. You're still sealed shut. Clean that little small thing. Be right back. Don't follow me. You followed me too much. Let's get the Dremel out here. Safety squints. Let's see here. What is our best option for power here? I think I'm going to try for this side tonight. Yes. Let's see if I got some cardboard laying around here somewhere that I can sacrifice for this project. Nope, 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 nope. You stay right here. Camera, stay. Come on, you can do it. There we go. You stay right there. have any cardboard in this house that I can use. Yes. Cardboard. All right, let's give this a shot. See how this thing works. Maybe I shouldn't have thrown that one thing away. You're still stuck in place. This probably says what speed I'm supposed to use. Nope. That was absolutely useless. I have to look up what speed this drill bit I need to use it at to do this glass. Let's see here. Um, 'That's not what I wanted. I don't think I'm logged in here either. I am, okay. Wasn't that long ago. Wasn't that long ago. Where, huh? There we go. 662 DR bit. $10,000 to $15,000. I need one other thing here for this project. I will be right back. I'm grabbing some water. What are you still doing on paddle? You're still not supposed to be on. All right, let's try drilling. wasn't too hard. That wasn't too terrible. Let's see if we can't do that again. So there we go. We got ourselves some drilled glass. Double check my email here. I'm jumping back and forth checking my email, making sure my I mentioned last night my refrigerator is not in good standards, and my landlord is working on a situation on a improvement, replacement, repair. Do not know, but we're waiting for the results on that, and probably going to be delivered to me by email. Okay, next project. We need to make our cuts into here. I am going to do a very strong forceful cut between these two holes. Run over it probably a couple of times here. Paper getting in the way. Once the paper gets wet, gets a little okay. And now we'll go from the circles out. I think I'm just going to go straight out from this one too. Let's do make sure my cutting wheel is staying clean and oiled. That did not work as intended. That was a nice score there. That one worked nicely. Let's get this one good score again this way. Let's see if this breaks. I have no idea if this is going to work or not. Nope. Nope. Just ruined the whole thing there. So we get to start over. At least the drill works nicely. Uh, how we doing out there? Anyone out there in the world tonight? And take these back off now that I'm not drilling at the moment. This piece I'm on. All right, safety squints re-engaged. Back to drilling. I apologize for any headphone users out there. This is going to perhaps get a little noisy again. Okay, so I've got these re-drilled. Let's get the cardboard out of the immediate way. It's got a fair amount of glass scrap on it, but open back to it. Attempt number 2 failed. This is the hardest part of this whole project. Hey, Soph, welcome in. So, just so we're clear here with this, even though I am not succeeding well so far today, one, this is the first time I've tried drilling glass in my life. So, there's that. And I've been successful at that so far. But the other part is that is a very hard cut to do. Those corners are very hard to do. I might not even be able to do this without having a jeweler saw. But we will see. I'm going to keep at it. We're going to keep trying. I seem to be pretty good at being able to get the decent regular lines that I want. It's just this inside corner is being a trouble. I shall be right back. I'm going to go through this way. Check the email again, see if they don't got any new replies here, no new shipments or anything, no new. Nope. Watch is finally recharged. I put my watch back on. Almost done. So I'm sort of up and running and streaming today. Sort of. We seem to have the horizontal stream going to Twitch. I have the horizontal and vertical stream going to YouTube, although they're going to the same stream key. So it's giving me all sorts of errors and complaining. So I don't know if it's actually broadcasting both horizontal and vertical, but they're getting sent both of them. And Kick, I'm getting errors in the log from, and I'm not really seeing myself displayed on Kick. Yeah, I'm not showed on Kick. Yeah, not connecting on Kick. So we can close that. But working on that, and this is sort of like prelude to fixing and doing all of this for that stream over there. Back to cutting again. I need a new guide. I'm thinking about trying this a little bit different this time. Well, I tried it a little different this last time too, but I think I'm going to try and cut out that square as much as possible with just normal scoring and cutting, and then do our drilling. Then do the drilling. Well, Twitch says my connection is excellent, and I don't have OBS stats open. OBS stats show no drop frames. And my stream in dashboard looks perfectly fine. So I think that might be your connection, unfortunately. For you, thankfully for me, it seems to be okay. But thank you for letting me know. How many times are we going to redo this piece before I get it? Huh? How many times? I think I need to get a new glue stick out. I think this one's donezo. I shall be back. I'm going to throw this one out. And let's grab ourselves a fresh one. If there's one available in here. Oh, well, you know, right on top. Let's see here. I'm also having to pop between YouTube and Twitch because my options for chatting are not working as intended. So I just have them open on two different tabs here, and I'm occasionally checking both to see if someone's out there. I know that's, especially for a new stream, that's probably not the best plan of action, but it's what I'm going with. Okay, let's start off by doing it the way I said I'm going to try it this way. We're going to start by just trying to cut away and going as deep as I can here with several cuts. Hmm. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm losing hope in this drill. It's been drilling nicely, but I'm get my safety squints back on. Okay, loud noise is done. This time I think I'm going to try and clean away a bit of this glass. Grab myself a piece of paper towel here. I have to get a new paper towel roll. I just finished one thing in the kitchen earlier. Today. That's actually on my list of things that I sort of want for this counter over here, but I don't really have the budget for, I guess, right now. Is I'd like to have a paper towel holder here. I could just do it out of a couple of hooks or something like that too. It's not. That's interesting. The drilled glass, wiping it up from the and it's purple. And it's not my finger. It's not blood. It's stained glass yellow turns purple. Okay. Cutting board back out of the scenario. So we're cutting on a flat surface again. Even though the glass isn't flat or anything really. We're going to try going out from the circles this time.
want to make all sorts of options for these to break in ways that I want it to, rather than cut into the rest of the piece like it has the last 2 times here. Making sure we're well coated with oil here. This handle has oil in the hand of it, and you do want to make sure your roller is well oiled and not gunked up with the paper and glass chaff from cutting these holes. Okay. Got a nice run there, so I'm going to go with that. You can see the run rate going to start there. There, continued all the way up to the hole there. That's good. That's good. Let's see if we can't go with the flow here. At least got that. So if we that means black line down there. I don't know that's the end of the world. It's not what I wanted for the design, but I'm sort of tempted to take that. Sort of tempted to take that. Sort of tempted to take that. Besides, that's the last of the ones that I printed inversed. I think that's what I'm living with. I think that's what I'm living with. Broke that corner off now. That I am not willing to live with. Okay, I'm gonna throw these away. I'm gonna grab the vacuum to pull up some of these smaller little frass from breaking glass here, and I guess I'll print out another one. We'll keep at it. Wrong button. Welcome back. So I'm obviously not having the greatest time here with this project. I'm gonna have to obviously break this now that I've already scored it nicely. And let's see. I think I had this designed in GIMP.
Again, this is the hardest part to this whole project. I'm starting off with the absolute hardest piece to use because it's the hardest piece to use. It's sort of those. What's the point of doing the rest if you can't do the hard one? Let's see here. Print. That means I need to turn the blend bit on. Right as I clicked cancel to reopen it because it wasn't updating, it updated. Let's see here. Page setup. We want it landscape. Print. Print. I can't see chat right now, so I hope you're all having a lovely time. I might have to, after today. Wow, the printer and my light not getting along here. Be having strobe effect going on in the stream. Printer is obviously drawing enough power that my light is not liking that. Not good. Okay. Thank you, so. Yeah, now the printer's. I'm going to turn the printer off now, but. Why am I sweating? Let's see how we doing on temps over here, computer. Oh, lovely. Only 105. Problem with doing it with this small of a piece of glass, I'm trying to consolidate, not get into the big piece here, but I have to use the larger piece because we need more structure back here to hold on to get rid of that center piece. I am actually let's look at this design again for a moment and see if I can't just live with it being I just did a line through there. I'm like, I want to keep it a solid piece, but if I just did a small little line now there, that's something going inside and outside soak was something that always irritated me about my working in my business in the farmers markets. Like, I'd spend all day outside in the air. Well, no, it would be just going into my trailer and inside of my trailer. I was wearing glasses at that point. I hadn't had LASIK, and so I would be outside. I'd set everything up for my trailer, for my sales stand and everything. And I climb into my trailer, and my glasses fog up because I got the kitchen going with everything else and everything boiling there, and um, it was not fun. Going hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. You really notice that too. Excuse me. Like going inside for the end of the day after being outside all over the place. It's just I just don't think that I can do the square cut here. And I'm debating whether I want to go straight down here and hope that I can cut out that corner. I'm giving in after, 4 times trying this cut. Um do I go here or do I go here is the answer. That's the question. Here I think preserves the design a bit better. But here I think it feels like it's a bit easier to achieve. Hmm. Yep, that's what I'm trying for this one. We'll see if I can't get that one corner to cooperate. We'll do the drill first. So shield your ears if you need to.
Safety glasses on. Water where we're drilling. Grab another piece of paper towel. Like handling that the remains of this glass when you drill it like this. Again, sort of fascinating. Yellow glass. It's purple. Anyways, that powder, it's gotta be, it's probably very much like fiberglass. If you've ever handled or any know how it works handling fiberglass insulation, that like blown glass fiber that they use, the pink stuff, um, cuts your hands all up very microscopically. And so I feel like the more I handle this like white powder stuff, the more my hands are probably going to ache over the next couple of days. That happens a little bit with this, anyways, with a little bit of thrash and stuff that comes off when you're breaking stuff and just brushing. And I mean, you can see how much little bits of glass and stuff are all over this already. Take the Dremel off. Get the cardboard back out of the way again. And back to scoring and chopping. What the heck? Let's do a couple more. Ooh, almost. Almost. I tempted to just see if I can't just drill that out and grind it flat. What did I do with that other thing that I got too? It's probably sitting here on the counter somewhere and I just can't see it. Arg. I think we're going to live with that, and I'm going to grind that out. We're going to work on cutting out the other pieces here. We're going to call that a win for at least this part. There's more to cut on this part, but the corner, the hard cut, is hopefully a win. Man. Come on, peel off. I'm so confused at why it chose not to go into the hole. Like, it's almost like everything I read in about this, about taking an inside corner, was, you know, you can drill it and cut lines into it, but like that's like wanting to avoid cutting into the actual hole there. It's like it's straight up like it's like it avoided the hole. Okay, we go again. That's a better place for that, anyways. We need you, which there's stuff on top of you. We can put you up here. We can put you up here for the moment. We can get you. Bitch, I bought 8 of these trays so that I can put all of my scrap glass in them. And that way we have scrap glass covered by color. Although that's probably a useful piece for this still. I'm just going to get the excess out of the way that I'm not using right this moment. As long as they're big enough pieces that I can, you know, reasonably coat them and foil and get rid of. Like, this is a bit too small, this is a bit too small. That way, not only can I go back and look for pieces to fill in using the same glass, I have this in the future for making like mosaics and using scrap pieces to make other pieces. I am going to now mute and vacuum again. Okay. And did I print two? No, of course not. We were gonna go with that. That one was gonna be the we're giving in and just making an extra cut, and well, that didn't exactly work. Print, print, print. Let's see what we got going here. Nothing new there. Okay. Yeah, printer and light do not get along together. I should say with computer cameras, light. I'm getting tired of cutting this out. No, that actually went pretty well last time, and I think this is a better angle than this angle. So I think I'm going to go for the same one again. trying to cheat by starting with flat edges in places that I can. This doesn't want to work. This is so frustrating considering most of my cuts are working almost exactly the way I want them to. Other than this one. We'll do a straight line this time. Or sort of straight line. We'll drill out the corner. Paper towel, and pull up our purple glass. Try it again. Finally. We're going to mute for vacuuming. Brownies were delicious. Am I keeping myself hydrated? Let me finish my coffee and grab some water. Actually, I'm not going to grab water because water not cold yet. So, it wasn't elegant, but it worked. The rest of this little bit of scrap here, we can grind it out. I am awaiting to see if I get an email back from my landlord about plans, schedules. I'm sort of half expecting an email in the middle of this to either disrupt this stream or the stream later tonight. Anyone new in here? Hi, I'm Chef JT. I have 2 different channels. This is Cutting Glass. I'm also on Chef JT for evenings cooking dinner. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. Like, I don't love the fact that I have my bacon and they're probably a bit too warm right now, but I'm gonna cook all of it tonight, and so actually I should go and take the because the refrigerator isn't keeping full temperature down, nor is the freezer. So I have deli meats in the freezer, figuring they're not actually going to freeze in the freezer. So I'm going to put those freeze. I'm going to get that water like you suggested, but it's probably going to be lukewarm, and I'm going to take the deli meats out of the freezer and put them down in the refrigerator for tonight. I shall be back. Lukewarm water. Get rid of my coffee cup too. Okay. Back to this fun.
It just won't let me cut this piece. That was what you're supposed to do without breaking there. Ah, I didn't even do it. It's all practice. Learning. It's the excuse why I've probably blown through $25 of glass today. That are perfectly useful for other projects.
think I'm just going to try and grind out that corner nice and clean. Which at this point today, good enough for me, you know? Let's see. Let's see if we can't get this other side now without breaking this piece. Into like 3 pieces. We started a run there. And try and catch it on the other side here. Hopefully they'll meet the center. There we go. Okay, normally I hope to not grind nearly that much off of a piece. I ain't dealing with this one anymore. We're living with this, and I'm just going to grind this down. We're calling that. Wait, let's look at small pieces. Don't waste big pieces. On its own. We'll just keep going with pieces that we need here. From maybe someone who's joined in just recently isn't seeing this full picture up here. Oh, hey, I'm supposed to be doing this too. This is supposed to be happening too. That right angle? Is that the right angle? Did I luck out like that? Not really, because I used the large piece when I wasn't supposed to use the large piece for a small piece of glass, but we're going there because it's there already. Make sure I'm not missing anyone over on YouTube. Nope, not missing anyone. Two. Okay. That is that piece. Got all these red pieces in the way here. No, no, this one. You've got a score I didn't finish. Oh well. See, like I said, that was the hard piece. We're sort of flying through these other smaller pieces. At this point, I'm sort of figuring we're gonna hopefully do most of the cutting today, and tomorrow or the next stream will be grinding. Oops, got myself. Miniature, miniature. Nope, 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 nope. Actually, it should be more like that. the last bit of that out with the grinder. That's a bit much for the grinder normally, but I'm gonna live with that. That's all in the black, so I'm gonna live with that too. That came right off. Nice. Didn't even need to break that one. It just helped itself. So I think that concludes our yellow cutting, other than that small little guy, which we can probably take off a point of one of these. And I think it needs to be a little more pointed than that. That might be okay. Yeah. Trying to think large enough that the foil still allow it to be seen. That was too much, but we'll grind it down a bit to fit it in there. I think that concludes our yellow. Nice. So let's pick up the extra yellow pieces we're going to keep here, vacuum up, and dispose of whatever is left. It's questionably large enough to go back up there, but it's wonky enough that I'm going to leave it. And that's all staying there for now. These in the glass in the trash. Be right back. We'll mute for a little vacuum action. Oops. Oops. Thank you. I was saying the smaller pieces were a bit too wide for this. I might be able to put one of those on there now that I cut it. I cut it a bit wide. For anyone unfamiliar with these lovely things here, these are specifically for this project, for working with glass, made in Germany. And they've got a little dimple there on the bottom. And then this has got a flat bar on this side. And they have an alternative one so you can snap into both of these. And so you have the flat piece against the, that breaks that. I also picked up these, which I don't like. I haven't liked nearly as much. And these have a concave. They're not perfectly straight across. They're designed to put pressure on it so that this seems to do a much better job of putting pressure on an exact point. This is way too undefined, I think. And these might be better for doing what I'm doing right now, these long runs and lots of them. But so far, I've just been sticking with these because they work. Let's try that again. We'll do it on the other side though, because I can break that perfectly clean. Or actually, let me go this way. Let me fit you in here this way. I'm going to call that a yes because it's in the black. The paper here is mostly for my guide for when I'm doing grinding, even though the grinding uses enough water that it often sort of messes the paper up. That sort of worked out in my favor. I used too much pressure there. This, it keeps coming unscrewed here, this Toyo cutter. And the center of this has, like, reading online, mostly on Reddit and stuff like that, it seems like most people that do this seem to just sort of tap their tip in oil every once in a while and don't actually fill up the reservoirs in this. I filled up the reservoir in this, and it seems to keep wanting to sort of fall apart, and I keep worrying that one of these times it's going to unscrew enough that it just starts drizzling mineral oil all over the place. Which would not be cool because this would probably absorb it. Let's get the rest of these red pieces here easy to see. You know what's going to make this piece a heck of a lot easier to do? Cutting that off of it. Water. Oh. And I am, without a doubt, learning what I'm doing here. Like, which sort of goes without saying, but when it comes to being economical about this rather than being learning about it, uh, how you're picking what pieces of glass to cut and grouping them and maximizing your yield on your glass is a major thing with this. But I'm just sort of figuring things out. So, follow me now, please. You can follow me now, camera, please. There we go. Went way wide on that there. Ugh. I haven't seen many cutting glass streams on Twitch. Like, not many people doing stained glass on Twitch, but I have found a few. And a few of them I watch and I'm like,
wow, that dude's just throwing everything away. Like, breaks a piece, throws it away. 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 And it's like not keeping any of his glass. Not, it's, which I guess you can probably do if you're, you know, buying project specifically for a project and glass specifically for a project, and you know it's paid for in the mentality sort of a thing. But it doesn't make much sense from a business sense to be just throwing away all of your medium. Not quite. Not quite. Maybe we'll see if we can't get that off of another piece of glass here in the future. We've got. Am we gonna do corners there? And that's not really worth my time. Let's get big boy out of the way. Granted, that person was much quicker at cutting pieces. They were mostly just like, okay, that needs to fit in there. I don't know if I can quite do that yet. Be looking at a piece of glass and just cut it and have it fit to the size that I want it to.
Almost 1 o'clock. I'm amazed that came out. I'm astonished that came out actually. That came out nearly perfectly. I mean, I can grind out that last little bit. That's a big win on that cut there. I was wow. Maybe we can actually cut glass. Wow. Wowzers. All right, we got 2 last pieces to go here, and I think I'm going to call it a stream. It's all the way back there. Just cut about there, so yeah, they got plenty of space there. I'm tempted to just grind that out at this point. I have to find my other grinding piece, so my other grinding tip. I'm not sure what I did with that. It's around here somewhere. Nope. Nope. We gotta go into the big piece, I guess. I just realized I changed angle. Oh, is that gonna turn out okay? Looking okay? Okay. I guess we're gonna find out. I guess we get to find out. I'm realizing now that I had cut the one piece in this direction and then the other one in this direction. And while this is water glass and there is no, specific, pattern to that, whether going this way versus this way is going to be noticeable in the final product. Oh, we still got 2 pieces to do here. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to defy all convention with this one, just fly in the face of all of it. I'm cutting this on the wrong side. Oh well. We'll see how it does. I'm cutting this on the wavy side. I'm supposed to cut this on the flat side. Actually, that won't work. I have to turn this on the other side. He says, hoping that he can keep the same cut that he just made. No. Well, we get a couple more cuts because I was doing that on the wrong side. Didn't want it to be mirrored compared to everything else I'm doing. one more piece here. There we go. We got all of our pieces cut. We got sort of afraid to even touch this piece of glass, but I'm cutting it off. Let's make sure we sort that well. Okay, yeah. This is the biggest grinding project for tomorrow. Well, we can take more off the back end there. Oh, that's got that hole in it. I won't bother with that. I'm going to grind that down. So this is going to be the biggest grinding project tomorrow. Or next stream. We'll see with the landlord if I have to when that shall be. We've got most everything here. I'm gonna pull the yellow piece there. We got our piece that goes there. So there we go. I gotta grind out that little corner in there. And just about everything else is set there. So we'll have a stream of grinding to get all of these down to the right size. And we'll see at the end of that how long that takes. I suspect that might be a full stream worth. Maybe not. Maybe we'll go through it quick and be less than 2 hours. And then we get into soldering. After soldering, we have polishing. And then after polishing, we have curing, or I'm debating what I want to do. I'm sort of leaning towards making the solder welds in this, the solder joints in this blackened. You can obviously leave them lead tin as they are naturally, that sort of copper silvery look to it. You can add
Actual copper, you can make it look like it's copper, even though it's solder, or you can turn it black. And I think I'm going to try and turn this one black after we do all of that loveliness. I would start pinning this up, but I don't think we're there yet. I think I need to grind some of this glass away in order to get that to all fit together nicely. But I think this is good progress. I think we can make good progress today. Let's do a little quick vacuum here. Mute for the vacuum. Okay. So we got that mostly vacuumed up. Let's get this back down here so y'all can see that. Even though I messed it up by moving it. I'm gonna go drop off scraps. I might need a scrap bin. Okay, so I think that is where we leave things for this fine evening. We can put the Dremel away while we're here. Let's put the Dremel. Otherwise, I'm gonna leave it out. It's gonna be a mess, and I don't want to deal with it. Glue stick back in its spot. Toya cutter back in its spot, even though it doesn't really have a spot. Take our glass cutting drill bit out. I'm gonna go give that a rinse off. In the bathroom sink, not in the kitchen sink, so I don't need glass.
Where you, what, I'm not over there, camera. I'm over here. So yeah, that little guy worked pretty good. Getting the glass ground through. I almost feel like this deserves a special spot in here. Nah. It's on top. I'll know which one it is. Get rid of our cardboard. Now let's clean everything up here today. And the landlord replied about the refrigerator. And I'm replying to say, sounds great. I wandered off for a moment, sorry. uh, so I guess I'm getting a new refrigerator on Thursday. So it'll be a couple of days, which it's nice having a refrigerator that works, but it's not the end of the world. Might mean I have to do a little extra shopping today. Oh, I know you were, so if I was just saying it to continue on to the conversation from what you were saying. Let's see if I missed anyone over on YouTube. I don't think I did, but perhaps I have. No, I haven't. Okay, so we've done about what I'm intending to do as far as this stream. I have no idea if any ads played the way it was supposed to, or if Twitch just auto-played ads. But yeah, so that's our finish for day one. And we'll come back and do some grinding since we're gonna be. I'm not gonna promise to be back here tomorrow. I'm gonna be back here on Wednesday. We'll double up on streams here for a couple of days here. Ideally, I want to do this more weekdays, but I also need to figure out, what days are going to be my days that I can get stuff other than streaming done. And so, yeah. I think the current plan is to stream on Wednesday, and we'll double up. We'll do those two, and then Friday we'll have a new refrigerator. And so we'll take Tuesday and Thursday off this week, like I normally do for Chef JT streams. And I will see all of your lovely faces back here on Wednesday. Hopefully. I remember which buttons are which. I wish you all a wonderful evening. And I hope to see you back here in a couple hours for Chef JT. Bye-bye.